Welcome to the Be Ruthless Show, where we have the conversations that other people don't, the conversations that other people won't. I'm your host, Sam Ruth, and I'm ready to make a lot of noise and disrupt things, ruthlessly. Thanks for being here today. Now let's get to it. Welcome back to the Be Ruthless Show. I'm your host, Sam Ruth, and joining me today is the one and only Callie Mitchell, who is a work-from-home mompreneur with an organic healing business. She makes her own amazing products I'm going to let her tell you about because I cannot even begin to remember or describe them all. She does craft events. She does photography and videography and so many things. Thank you for taking time out of your mom life to be here.
Thanks for having me.
What got you into all of your natural healing that I need today and every day, but today?
That's a really good question. My boyfriend and I had just started dating about 5 years ago, and we noticed that people were always in need of the people that we love, family and friends, were always in need of things like really good lotions and CBD healing. That's how we kind of got into that specifically. But lotions, we live in Colorado, so everybody always needs chapsticks. And so those were like the two main products that we started out with, was lotion and chapsticks. And it was basically because we saw a need for it amongst our family and friends, and we wanted to create a product that was all natural and organic and works with their body's natural flow. To reduce the pain and the dry skin and all of that they get, and then also with the CBD to reduce pain medication. My boyfriend's uncle had knee replacement surgery, and we started making him a CBD salve that he could put on his knee every day. And just from that, he was able to get rid of an entire pain medication that he was taking every day. So that's a big deal. That's a big strain on your body and on your organs and all of that, that he's able to eliminate now. And like I said, the products we make are all natural and organic. So you're replacing harmful prescription medication with healing, all natural, nutrient dense remedies.
I have been sensitive my entire life to even over-the-counter things. So for me, that's life-changing. But even if you're not, there are so many things in what we take that people aren't even aware of. But even other CBD products and things out there, people don't know what they're getting. So talk about this more, because we live in Colorado. We are fortunate. People come here specifically because we are the home of. But there's now, I would say, thousands. I mean, there are so many brands out there. So help people understand why that matters.
Yeah, so yes, their market now is, especially in Colorado, but definitely all over the place now that CBD is a bit more legal everywhere. The market is completely oversaturated, and is oversaturated with people who don't have the knowledge behind what they're talking about. There's different kinds of CBDs, different kinds of CBD do different things to your body. There's just on a base level, there's isolate and full spectrum CBD. And some companies go with the isolate, some people go with this full spectrum, and the difference between the two. My company specifically, we use full spectrum CBD, which has a little bit of THC. Federally, legally, it's not allowed to have more than 0.3% or 0.03. It's a very minuscule amount, but you're able to get the full healing benefits from it. And when you do the isolate, you're taking out a huge portion of the healing benefits that CBD can offer. So just on a base level, having that kind of understanding. And then there's a lot of myths behind CBD, especially when you're using it topically. A lot of people think that it's going to build up in your system when you use it topically, and you're going to start, dropping dirty, quote unquote, for jobs and things like that. So a lot of people worry about that. But specifically when you're using it topically, that's not going to happen. So you're going to get all of the pain management, the inflammation, anti-inflammation benefits, but without having to worry about your job being at stake. It's an oversaturated industry, but it's an under-regulated industry. Knowing or making sure that the companies that your CBD comes from gets their certifications, gets their reporting on their batches and their strains and things like that. Yeah, and just making sure that the products that you're putting into your body, it says CBD, it might be CBD, great, but like what kind of CBD? Where is the CBD coming from? Are the farms that it's being grown on, what kind of chemicals are they using? What kind of pesticides are they using? Because all of that from start to finish, from seed to end product is all gonna influence your body once you put it on. And then also the other products that go into the lotions or salves or chapsticks or tinctures, things like that. There's a lot of the extraction process for CBD is really important.
And I now see it at gas stations. Like it's everywhere. So parents, do your teenagers know this? They might know it's healthy and it's a great idea, but do they know that the brand matters?
Mhm.
Do they also know what way to take it? How do I know which way to choose? I started in 2017, I had major back surgery. So I was looking for any and all options for back pain. So I started with lotions and ointments and things fit, but I moved on to, anything you would suggest. In doing that, I discovered this helps with my anxiety. I
Mhm.
am noticing a difference in my mood as well as my pain level. Who knew?
Mhm.
So there are so many benefits, and I'm a psychologist. I would never say go off your medication, to someone without talking to doctors and doing it the right way, but it helps with things you might not even be looking for it to help with.
Mhm.
So how do I choose what way to that? When I learned that, then that became more important than the lotion. Now I want to take it orally because I'm getting two benefits instead of one.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. How you take it for what you need it for absolutely matters because you don't want a lotion for like you said, like the anxiety and like mood balancing or calming. It's really good for relaxation and for lowering stress, all of that. It also has a lot of benefits internally on like your organs and your blood flow, you're lowering your blood pressure, stuff like that. And so if you're trying to like do something medically, that's not you're gonna want to take it as a tincture or a pill. And then yeah, if you're an athlete or if you have like arthritis, if you're an elder, you're gonna want to take something topically to put directly onto the area or the inflammation, especially if you're an athlete putting CBD on the area like your knees or your arms. My boyfriend is an avid disc golfer. So he puts it all over his shoulder before he goes and plays tournaments. And then when he gets home as a preventative.
You're an athlete, that it's more beneficial to take it, to put it on your body than it is to consume it. So it's almost like essential oils for me. Sometimes there's too many choices and I get overwhelmed. And if I didn't have someone like you to say, what do I use this for and how do I use it? I might not use it at all. So is there a safe way to start? Can you use too much?
There's really no wrong way to take CBD. It's going to have beneficial things no matter which way you do it. It's going to benefit you and your body. Ingesting it topically is just going to work topically. So that's the limitation. Ingesting it is going to go through your body and work on more of a cellular level. So it just depends on what you like want it to do, what you need it for. And then yeah, specifically for athletes, more topical, pinpointed. So if you really wanted it on your knees, because your knees are weak or, they get hurt, then you would put it directly, specifically on your knee in that one targeted location. And then when you ingest it, it kind of like goes all over. So that's, there's no wrong way to take it, but it's different ways to take it for different uses that you need it for.
Is there an age range? You have an adorable little one.
Yeah,
Is it
so for ingesting, it's different. For topical, I think I started using it on my son after a year. And I only use and then there's different milligram dosages. So my chapstick is only at 10 milligrams, which is a very, very, very low small dose. But you only put it on your lips, so you don't really need a whole lot, but you can get it in the hundreds and thousands. I don't know if I've seen 1,000, but our salves are 360 milligrams. So that's obviously a lot more CBD concentration than the 10 milligrams. So that's why we put that in the salve, because you want a higher concentration of CBD in the pain and inflamed areas. Now, when you're using a tincture, oh, sorry, I forgot we were talking about age. I was going to go into a totally different tangent. So topically, I started using it on my son after a year. Like I said, it's not really going to build up in your system or do anything besides that topical healing. So, it's safe to use on younger ones. I would use a lower dose if you're really worried about it. But ingesting it's a little bit different. I think 18 and over, 16 and over for CBD, obviously 21 and older for THC, but because it contains a little bit of THC, it's not like you're not able to sell it to kids that are younger. However, especially kids that have like mood disorders or like we were talking about earlier, anxiety, things like that. It's a little bit of a healthier replacement to other kinds of prescription medications. So on a low dose, a tincture every morning might be beneficial.
go into your tincture tangent? There's a name.
Tincture tangent. Yeah, so the going back to the dosing, so you can get a tincture bottle at different milligrams, right? And then that matters how much you're putting into the eyedropper that you're then dropping into your mouth. So if you get a tincture that's like 1,800 milligrams in that bottle, then you have to start figuring out the dosage that comes out into so you basically, a good estimate is about whatever one eyedropper, filling up an eyedropper would be. That's about a normal daily dose. But if you get into the milligrams, it's like for the 1,800, it's like every drop is 3 milligrams. So you like figure it out that way. So it depends on how much you want to put into your body. Obviously, when you're ingesting it, like I said, it can build up into your body over time. So if you're ingesting a higher milligram dosage every day, it will build up in your body a bit faster than if you didn't. So,
And like anything, something might work for me better than it does for you.
absolutely.
There are just some things you try. As we're having this conversation, I think anyone listening can tell that you're giving a whole lot more information that somebody in the gas station might. I've been on my tangent lately about paying close attention to who you work with, who you choose, what you put in and around your body. And this isn't different at all. So if people don't live in Colorado and have as many choices, do you ship? How can they connect with you if they don't have in rural areas? I feel like it's everywhere, but maybe it's not in other places.
Yeah, absolutely. We do ship. We ship anywhere in the country. So you just go to our website at www.levenzenwellness.com and go to the apothecary section. That's our online shop. And you just order whatever you'd like, and we will ship it to you within a couple of days. So.
how do people, I'm big on, if somebody, if you go to the doctor's office and you get a bad feeling, it is perfectly okay to leave and find a new doctor, right? I feel like this is
Yeah.
the same thing. There's no magical way to know if somebody's the right fit or not, but are there certain things, ingredients, you're telling us what to look for. What about in companies, provider, who you choose, um, as the person?
Yeah, so any place that you get your CBD from, you're gonna want to ask for the reports and the certifications and the COAs to make sure that the products are what they say they are. Um, and that they're what you need it for. So, yeah, just doing your due diligence, and you want to look for as few ingredients as possible, obviously. Things that, I mean, a lot of people are allergic to coconut oil, so if it has coconut oil, that's something to be a little weary of. If you don't know if you are allergic to coconut oil or not, safer bet not to use it. But also like lavender and eucalyptus, people are really allergic to. So, I mean, just looking at how it's going to work with your own body. And like you said, a lot of it is kind of testing it and seeing how it works in your body. So, yeah.
You shared why you got started, but I feel like you do so much more now. Is there a story behind why you continued and how you grew? Because
Yeah.
it is much more than this, and we're not touching on it.
Yeah. So I started out working with essential oils. I've since grown to start to work with CBD, and then now I work with organic herbs, and working with those medicinally and how I can get those into my products and make herbal remedies that are beneficial for, like allergies, cold and flu, to help you decompress and rest, digestive issues, stress related stuff, anxieties, things like that. We work a lot. I am a woman, so we work a lot with the menstrual cycle and beyond. So we do um, menstrual stuff, pregnancy stuff, all of that. And then okay, so I started doing community events in 2016 when I was raising money to leave in my car for 4 months and shoot a few documentary series that I produced. And so someone suggested that I have a fundraising event, and I had never done events before. So I had an event. It was a free event in our local city park, and it was everything was free. It was yoga all day, live music, vegetarian and vegan food, homebrewed kombucha. There were conscious workshops all day, like permaculture 101 or basket weaving or a men's circle. The local aerialist um, business, Live Beyond Limit, came and they set up their huge rig, and they had people working on the silks and performing all day. It was really awesome, and it ended up being a huge turnout. We didn't make any money, I don't think. I think it actually cost me money to do the event, but then I had such a resounding positive feedback that I started doing that event twice a year. And so then it's grown to now I do about 4 or 5 self-care events a year. And and I do other kinds of smaller like fun events, like create your own fragrances, create your own sugar scrubs, or like mala making 101 and 102 workshops, things like that. But I found my passion in community a long time ago when I was younger. And so one of my main missions, which comes out in my work and in our mission statement, is to benefit my family, friends, and community in the most positive way that I can through our products, and then also through self-care events. And during our self-care events, we often have a free community hour where people can just come and get like a 15-minute massage or a face massage or our self-care station and get a foot detox or something like that and then that it's free. So then that's open for people who can't normally afford to get services.
So anyone listening, I think maybe now it's making more sense why we click, right?
Yeah.
And giving back and community and connection and all of these things and helping people and wanting to find ways to make them in less pain. I want to go back to menstrual stuff. I'm curious if you see any connection in the grief world. Because
Yeah.
I will tell you that 100% of my clients, including me, uh, it affects their menstrual cycle.
Yeah. Mhm.
We
I mean,
know,
all life things can affect your menstrual cycle, but specifically, yeah, emotional, traumatic, like heavy things, absolutely. Stress,
not talked
absolutely.
about. We never learn this when we go to the gynecologist, right? Like if we were taught that when you go through any type of trauma, it will affect, I would have immediately called the gynecologist and said, what can I do to prepare?
Mm,
Because this was not just your cycle will be affected. Like, yes, I had no period, but then when I got my period, sorry, men listening, it was massively painful. Like, it was not fun.
mhm.
And my clients say this also, that I have clients who have had periods for 3-4 weeks, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
different type of cycles that are not fun, that we could do things to physically prepare our bodies for, so they would be less physically traumatic. We're already suffering emotionally, right?
Mhm.
You know this. You do the work. I don't. Gynecologists, what can we do to talk about it more
Mhm.
so that it doesn't knock us down? A light bulb going out knocks us down, right? This is physically knocking people down. And I'm telling you, 100% of my clients.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Especially when we go through trauma just in general, grief, absolutely a huge one. Um, we need to find ways to support our bodies and our immune systems and our moods and our, our hormones. And there's a lot. Our bodies are a machine, and we need to find ways to not only heal but support prolonged wellness and be conscious of when our stress is up, when everything is crazy and out of balance, when we need to be in tune with our body to know, hey, I'm going through a difficult time right now. What can I do to be more supportive of my body at this time?
Yeah. And doctors, nurses, if you're listening, this might seem so unnecessary, but I'm telling you, there are women everywhere going through loss today, right this moment,
Mhm.
making decisions. Let me tell you one of mine. I just lost my husband. What do I need birth control for anymore? Now, today, I have clients who I say, talk about it with your doctor. I know remembering to take one pill is one thing that seems meaningless,
Mhm.
but that's one decision I would change going back. My body suffered. There may be 10
Mhm.
other options, but that's a conversation. That's just a conversation that I could have had.
Mhm.
And my body physically went through a lot.
Yeah.
So there's just so many things that we don't go through. We go through, what do you do when you get your period for the first time?
Mhm.
We physically change when we go through menopause. We address that.
Yeah.
What to do when you go through trauma and your body change, it has to be addressed more than after you suffer during the trauma, because we're in pain.
Mhm. Yeah, you're not thinking straight while you're going through trauma. You need to have a plan beforehand so that you already kind of know the steps you need to take instead of trying to make one up while chaos is just ensuing everywhere all around you. You're not thinking straight.
No, mine was, who needs this? Throw it away. One more pill, don't have to remember. That was my logic.
Mm-hmm.
No one prepared me medically for what would happen whenever it was. And I was violently sick in I'm talking crying pain, and I have a high pain tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
So any other things you see a lot that we could say prepare?
I see a lot of athletes is what I see a lot of, and then preventative measures for that is putting the salve on before you go out and do that. And then we work a lot with like that older generation of people with their aches and pains and inflammation. So, and with that, that's a lot of finding healthy habits, making small healthy habits over time equals a lifestyle change. If you don't use it, you will lose it as we get older. And yeah, so preventative measures there is, eat healthy, get moving. It doesn't matter what kind of movement you do, just get moving. And then you won't have as much. And did I say diet? Yep. And then be conscious of what you're putting in your body, as we were saying earlier. Read labels on stuff. It sucks, but read labels, know your brands. Hold on one second. Sorry. I'm going to edit this part out, but my son is crying. 1 second. Sorry.
That's so true. Even something as simple as candles. And I always talk about my own experiences or what I see. My serious reaction to scents with unhealthy things in it. So making your own things that are okay, I can have around my house. But I went out of town and I knew she was sick. Somebody had something in this house that I didn't approve.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just what we eat. So it's all of those things.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for fitting us in. Final thoughts for everyone listening.
Take care of yourself and each other.
Where can everyone find you?
Yes, our company is called Your Zen Apothecary. You can find us at lovenzen-wellness on Instagram, Your Zen Apothecary on Facebook, and www.lovenzenwellness.com.
Thank you for everything you do, for making time, and everyone listening, check it out. And if you're in Colorado, you will be seeing a lot more of us together. Until next time, always be ruthless. Thanks so much for listening today. Your support means everything to me, truly. If this podcast resonates with you, please do me a favor and join in the Ruthless movement by making some noise and doing one of these 4 things. Subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Tell a friend so we can break stigmas even faster. Leave a review so people can see what you think of the show. And last, if you want to learn more about me and be a part of the Grief Hab community, please head on over to the Facebook group. We'd love to have you. Thanks again for spending your time with us, and see you next week.